Hi, I'm Will.
And I'm Risa, and this is Talent Talk.
On today's show, we have acclaimed singer-songwriter-personality, Jesslee. But before we get to our interview with her,
take a sneak peek at Jesslee's newest single, Do It Like.
Does she ever make you breakfast? No. Does she hold you while you asleep? She get along with your mama? No drama? Is she what you need? Is she the life of the party? No. She throw it down like me. You made me sick when you picked that chick. So sad. Cause nobody can do it like me. Like me, like me. Yeah, nobody can do it like me. Like me, like me. Nobody can do it like me, like me, like me. Does she let you roll with the fellas? No. Does she put you first? Does she rock a little LOCASH just when you had a hard day at work? Are you happy without me? No. So why the hell you leave? You're a mess, but I'm blessed, no stress, you're sad. 'Cause nobody can do it like me, like me, like me. Yeah, nobody can do it like me, like me, like me. Hey, how are you the only one that's blind when everybody sees? Nobody can do it like me, like me, like me.
well, hello, Jesslee. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing so well. How are you both?
We're doing great, and we were just having such a fun time pre-interview that I said, Risa, we have to finally record, and I'm so excited that the audience has got a little sneak peek of your incredible talent with your song, Do It Like, not only a song that you were on the writing team of, but it is now the theme song of your podcast, and we will get into all of it, Jesslee. But first and foremost, I want to know, where were you born, and when did you realize that you had a gift for music?
Oh, I love that question because it's a little bit of a loaded one, but it's also, it brings me back because where I'm now is so different from what I was born into. I never thought that I was going to get out of my small mind mentality. I was actually born in a little town called LOCASH. We would actually call it Lots of Scratchy because we lived in the woods, like basically on the Everglades with all the no-see-ums and sugars you could ever think of. And it was a hot mess out there. And it was about a population when I was out there, like 400 people. Like it took 45 minutes to get to the grocery store.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's funny because when you grow up in a small town like that, you really don't know, and you don't see bigger for yourself for a long time. You get so set in your ways, being surrounded with people that are so in their routine and such a small town mentality. And although there's nothing wrong with that, I just always thought bigger for myself. I always felt, even in such a town, how do you not fit in to a town that small? There's like nobody to have to fit in with. And yet I didn't. I never felt like I fit in where I was living. And then my mom actually wanted to get us out of there, get us out of the situation that I was actually going through with our dad at the time. For anybody, and it's a whole other story, but for anybody who may have known previous interviews and may have watched my episode on The Voice, I actually went through an extremely abusive relationship with my father. And when she finally got us away from that, we eventually moved to this town called Stuart. And it was, to me, like moving to a big city, although at the time it probably had about 10,000 people in it, which is not a massive city. It's felt like I had come to New York, So it was a great warm up for me, because I think I would have gotten shell shock if I went from LOCASH to Nashville, So it really was a opportunity for me to kind of start integrating myself with people who had an interest and a love for music, and found my crew out there who kind of started getting my confidence for me to really be able to start pursuing that dream and moving in that direction, because that's always the hardest part, you know, getting out of what you're used to and pushing yourself to make that initial jump towards who you want to become. And when I started doing that, it was like before I knew it, you know, things started happening. I released my first music video. It went viral, and then The Voice had called me, and I never had any plans to audition for that show, had no idea that it was going to be an opportunity that came my way. And it did. And, you know, I'm just, my words that I can always say to that is, you know, if you're meant to do something, it doesn't matter how much time you wasted to start. The universe is very good at expediting the process. And as long as you're moving in that direction, it will move you faster in that direction, as long as you keep taking small steps every day towards who you want to become.
I absolutely love that. And
Thank you.
You know, I wonder, I'm so curious, are there songs or lyrics of songs that you heard when you were ready to just bloom and blossom and get out? Are there certain songs that you would sing, or artists that you thought, this is the road I'd like to go down is this?
Yeah, you know, it was for me for a long time. Although growing up in the country, I did listen to the Waylons and the Merles and the Tanyas and the Dollys of, you know, of country music and what was traditional in that time. I definitely am super influenced because of the question you just asked, because although that was what I was really introduced to, there was so much new music coming out between boy bands and, you know, amazing pop players and vocalists like Christina Aguilera, who was a huge influence for me, because although I loved listening to country music, I also love sounds and I love big vocals. And then you don't hear a lot of that in traditional country music. So that was so fascinating to me. Although there's so much that I love about the traditional storytelling of country music, and that I try to respect, and stylistically when I release music as well, yet still trying to be innovative and be myself. But, you know, I would say some of the biggest artists, to answer your question directly, at the time that really pushed me to move in that direction were like the Avril Lavignes of the world, that came out and had these big, larger than life personalities and were so different, but yet undeniably stars. And that's still something that I crave in music. That's something that I want to be in music. I want to be a person that, if you're going to come and pay a $20, maybe $50, $100 ticket one day to see me, I want to be someone that you're going to be able to leave and say, there's no one like her. There's no one that's quite like her, and she's a star, and I can't necessarily do what she does. And that was one of the things that I loved when I went to go see a person. You know, when I saw Britney Spears for the first time, when I saw Christina, when I saw Avril for the first time, I was like, that person is undeniably a star, and they have music that will take me away and make me forget anything that's going on in my life in that moment. It's like what a movie should do. You should sit down in a movie and you should feel like you're in that story. You should feel like when that person dies, you're going to cry because it affected you, because these people have become those characters. And when someone can be that on stage and music, that's just undeniable.
Well, Jesslee, I think that's you. I think.
Oh gosh, well, thank you.
But let me tell you why, because for those who don't know, Trace Adkins and Kelly Clarkson, in their own way, basically said about you what you just said about the artist that you have always looked up to. Because not only, Jesslee, did you do and be part of a wonderful experience that I know you're grateful for, called The Voice,
Yes.
You didn't become a flash in the pan, because you know why? You took it upon yourself to not rest on that laurel. You looked at it up as an opportunity, as great, eyeballs on me, but this is now who I am unapologetically. And you went and not only showed your voice, literally, but figuratively, because you're a damn good poet.
Thank you so much.
You're a great songwriter.
That means everything. And the fact that you use flash in the pan, it's like synchronicity. I always love when synchronicity happens, because that's one of the biggest terms that my team uses. Is you have a lot of these artists today even who get these huge, either whether it's financial head starts or national television head starts. And, you know, I don't say this as a brag. I say this as truth to the people who want direction on what to keep doing. It's literally the slow burn is the best way, not being the flambe, not being the flash in the pan, because it's true. Because I have people, you know, when we were on The Voice, you know, there's a top 4, there's a winner, and the winner and the top 4 and that went along further than me currently aren't even doing music anymore. And you have to take that lesson and learn that you can get a huge gift, but still not know how to take it and where to go with it and turn it into something to continue the momentum of your career. And that was one of the biggest things for me, was that I knew immediately when I got off that show, I had to surround myself with people that knew exactly who I was, believed in my mission as a songwriter and as a person in general with what I want to do with my platform of music. Surround myself with those like-minded people and figure out strategic, innovative ways to keep my career moving and capitalizing off of the momentum of that show. So the fact that you said that means so much to me and my team. Thank you.
Well, you're my Italian, you know, paisan.
Yes, we are like family already.
Yeah, I want to put out there, I have to put out there this thought, because similar to you being a singer in an industry full of singers,
yeah,
I want to put this out there as a thought and a mind-blowing thought that they're just seriously, even though you were on a huge
throw it out there and let it stick to the damn wall.
Jesslee, the music is in your blood. Whether you win or lose a competition show, it doesn't even matter. People hear your voice. They know who you are. It's a part of who you were made to be, your gift. That's it. You will go out and do it. If one person's in the audience or 2,000 people, it's because it's in your heart and that is your gift. And that's it. So yeah.
I love that. You know, I like to believe that it is. I like to believe that that's always been the piece, you know, back when I lived in that small town, that's always been the piece that was nagging me in the back of my head of why nothing ever felt right in my life. And it's funny because we just dropped we're dropping it. We filmed the episode for Her Story, which was the first time I ever broke down exactly where I come from in music. And we show all of these photos of my grandparents who were actually touring artists. And they're the ones, I mean, it's in my family. I had a grandfather who was a classical violinist and played for the Queen. And I had, my mother sang for a president in the White House. And my grandparents literally, they were supposed to be signed as the original Sonny and Cher. And I go through the story on my podcast, but they were supposed to be signed as the OG original Sonny and Cher. And they did not take the deal because my grandmother just had gotten pregnant and she didn't want to have a child in that type of lifestyle. And back then too, the fame was such a different thing. You know, fame was such a different thing. You didn't have social media to where people could necessarily reach out to you and feel like they got their fix of you. People were rabid over seeing a star and they tried to get every piece of you as possible. And it was so much worse back then. So they didn't want that, you know, for their family and for their kids, and they turned the opportunity down. But you know, they were some of the biggest artists of their time, up and coming artists of their time. And it is. So it's definitely in my family. And I like to think that I'm half as great as they are. So
well, I have a very important question to ask you.
Ask away. I'm an open book.
Jesslee, are you ready for game time?
Oh, you know it. I'm all about the games. Bring it on.
Okay, Jesslee, well, it is your lucky day because Risa and I have our questions book, and we are actually going to ask for just one number between 1 and 100. And Risa, you can take it away, and
okay.
If she gives her number, you can ask a question.
Woo! Let's do this.
So if it wasn't between 1 and 100, it'd be 111. There's a reason for that because it's my birthday. And it's also my angel number, but if not, it's 11.
Wait,
So,
we can do 111.
Wait, we can do 111. Yeah.
So the reason why is my birthday is November 1st, and I was obviously born on 111. But whenever I get like some sort of divine insight, or I'm just questioning something I need to do, and I send a prayer up and to my spirit guides in the universe, and I just kind of ask like, hey, where do I need to go with this? Anytime I see 111, it's like reassuring what I was thinking and the direction I should move in. So I feel like that's my number.
And guess what? I feel that we are going to break the rules, and we are going to do 1 to 111 today.
I feel lucky. I just feel lucky you're breaking the rules for little old me.
We're doing it. Here's 111. Ready? Okay. The question is, where did you want to live when you were a teenager?
Oh, that's cool. Well, weirdly enough, Nashville, and I mean, I always wanted to figure out a way to get here for music, but now that I'm here, I really love Jupiter. So I've always wanted a place in Nashville. And I've always wanted to be able to go back, because my home state is Florida. And I always wanted to be able to go back and get one of the island mansions on Jupiter one day. So it's where
Jupiter.
It's where my girl lives, Celine Dion, like all my favorite like big artists, like they're all out there. I'm like, I want to have a house next to Celine Dion, and I'll be happy. I'll feel like life's complete then.
Well, we are so excited to have had you today on Talent Talk, Jesslee, and we would love it if you would play us out with one of your newest up and coming singles, maybe. What are you thinking for us today?
I would love that. This is so much fun. So we've been kind of wanting to feature this one anyway. We've been singing it at my shows, introducing it. We actually already pre-dropped the merch of it because it's become such a popular song at my shows, and the fans speak, right? So it's looking like, and I'm going to go ahead and just say do it anyway, because we're going to presume that it's going to go, but it looks like this is going to be my next solo single for the fall. We have a couple releases in between then, but they are collaborative projects. So this will be the very next just me single. It's called Ammunition, and I actually wrote it at Warner with a awesome writer named Allie Taylor. And we also have, do you know who she is?
Yes,
Allie?
I do.
You shook your head like you did. She's amazing. And then we also wrote it with Steve. And I had just moved to Nashville. I was probably here, for about 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks at the time. Met up with Allie. And it was actually the first time ever meeting with each other. We hit it off, and we were talking about how, of course, I'm Italian. He's Italian. Allie is Venezuelan. And we were like, oh, this is just a room full of spice. We need to write a sassy song. So we wrote a song about the industry, and anybody can take the song and translate it however they want on their own. But for us, it was about the industry and what we go through, and how it takes so many no's, but how people that have the spine, like we have Italian and Venezuelan spines, we take those no's and we tuck them in our back pocket, and we use them as ammunition. And not only do we prove that we can do what they said we weren't going to do, but we do it better. So this one's called Ammunition. It's super spicy. I hope you guys like it.
I'm so excited already.
Toss dirt on me and grow a daisy. Keep on throwing shade, but your shit doesn't face me. Kindness kills like the silence sitting on my tongue. I keep it cool, that's how mama raised me. You can't knock me down, and I know it drives you crazy. I like the way you hate me. You're the bullets in my gun. You're the spotlight in my ignition. Your doubt is fueling my addiction. Wait around and you will see. Karma ain't as nice as me. I stole the dime from the well you're wishing. I know it hurt, yeah, that was my intention. Eyes on the prize, like to load it on a mission. You're my ammunition. Da 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 da. you're the fiction. You skipped a page, I'm the footnote that you're missing. Because of your constant inquisition, you're proving I'm already. Yeah, you're the spark, light my ignition. Your daddy is fueling my addiction. Wait around and you will see. Karma ain't as nice as me. I stole the dime from the well you're wishing. I know it hurt, yeah, that was my intention. Eyes on the prize, like to load it on a mission. And you're my ammunition. Yeah. No smoke, no kick, no damage done. Oh. But it'll sting like hell when you see I won. You're the spark, light my ignition. Your daddy is fueling my addiction. Wait around and you will see. Karma ain't as nice as me, yeah. I stole the dime from the well you're wishing. It hurt, yeah, that was my intention. Eyes on the prize, like to load it on a mission. And you're my ammunition.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah, you're my ammunition. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
Yes! Oh my goodness. Jesslee, thank
You
you
got
so
soul.
much
Thank you.
for sharing that song. My goodness. Well,
That's everybody's anthem to keep going. Use it as ammunition. Don't ever let a no stop you. Freaking Michael Jordan was kicked off of his high school basketball team, but look who he became. So don't let anybody tell you who you can be. He's looking at me because he just told me that the other day. I did that on purpose. I knew that he was gonna make that look.
You guys see that face? I was like,
I love it. It was a good TV. It was a good TV smirk. It was subtle, nuanced.
it was
He
it was a cheeky office smirk.
Like
Look at the
I
camera
literally
afterwards,
just
like,
said that to you yesterday.
I can't with you. You are all amazing. Thank you so much again, Jesslee, for joining us. Risa, you're the best. Till next time, and God bless.
God bless.